Can you see me?
Yeah, perfect. We got you.
Okay, guys, welcome to the call tonight. We are going on skill number 3. I hope you're reading the book, especially last week. Skill number 2 is, as I said before, and I'm going to say it again, this is my favorite skill because it's amazing when you go through the all day steps. Now we are going to go to skill number 3, that is presenting. And this is a powerful skill. Actually, all the skills are important, but the first 3, actually the first 4, when you see next week, they are the ones that you are using in a daily basis. But anyway, so far we have covered the first 2 skills. The first one was prospecting or making your list. Now this skill is in chapter, I think chapter 4, starting on page 31. Now you learn many ideas, and he said ideas, but it's ideas on prospecting. It's a great tool, and now I have to say that we have even more information on prospecting here and howtogetgoing.com. We have all the videos, etc. But they give you a lot of great ideas, and I hope you read that chapter and you start applying some of the ideas that are there. Talking about prospecting, we are going to be having an event this coming Saturday, May 17th, here in Salt Lake City, on using social media and other ways, but mostly social media, and never running out of prospects. I hope you're going to be there. But anyway, we also went the following week through chapter 5, or the second skill, that is how to invite people. I love those 8 steps that show how you can invite people in a very, very effective way. I feel that if you want to be a professional in this business, you have to read that chapter many times and apply everything that is there. I tell you one thing, interesting. I've been in network marketing for 22 years. When I read that chapter, even that some of the things I was using, but after I read that chapter, and also I went to his seminar, he went again through those 8 skills, 8 steps on that skill, and the skill of inviting. He make a huge change on myself and the way that I talk to people and approach people. Even that, again, I've been in 22 years in network marketing. Is why I love this skill. Now we are going to go to the next one, and these skills, the prior, obviously prepare you for this one, because first you have to have a list of names, and you have to prospect people, inviting them, and then let's go to this one. And this one is really important, and it's interesting that many people fail because just a little simple thing that we're going to see in a second. But these are some of the challenges when you are presenting, and what most people are going to find when they join this business. Eric Worre said in his books, he said that he tried to be an expert, to try to learn everything about the company, products, etc. And then what happened, every time he was doing a presentation, he found challenges. He felt that he had to be the expert, so he had to keep learning and learning about the products, learning about everything. And this is one of the things that stopped the most many people in network marketing when they try to introduce the business. They think they have to know everything. He was having that problem. The second problem that he was having is that people who knew him didn't take him seriously, because they knew that he was not an expert. I mean, they were laughing at him when he was trying to talk about the products, that is his first company, and how he can make money when they knew that he was broke. He was a broke real estate broker because he was in real estate, for those of you that read his story. He was not duplicating himself because most people could not see themselves doing the same. He could sponsor people because eventually he became a great presenter, knowing everything. But the problem is that he couldn't duplicate himself. It is interesting because I was on the same boat. When I started in network marketing, I was coming from the real estate business, and one of the things that we were doing in real estate business, we were putting together groups to buy properties, and we were teaching people also how to buy properties. And the thing is that, of course, I got used to use graphics and charts and etc. And when I got in network marketing, guess what? I started doing the same thing. I started doing presentations so complex that, yeah, we were signing up some people, but most people were saying, whoa, I'm never going to be doing impossible. I can be doing all that stuff. And also, I wanted to learn about everything, and I became so into books and ingredients, etc., because it was a nutritional company too. And I tell you, that's one of the reasons probably that I didn't make any money in my first 18 months in network marketing until I changed. I learned that we have to use systems. Now, and this is one of the important things. Let me show you what the pros do. They present themselves as a consultant, directing people to the tools, events, and other people presentations. This is really important, guys. Let me repeat. They present themselves as a consultant, directing people to tools, events, and other people presentations. And I know that is tough for some people because they want to do everything, and I was one of them. I was one of them. I wanted to do everything when I started, and it's why at first I couldn't understand this until I went to that famous seminar that many of you heard, Bob Proctor, where I met many networkers, and then I was directed to books that I realized that I was doing it wrong because I wanted to do the whole thing myself and learn the whole thing myself, but doesn't work that way. Now, the next one, if the prospect asks questions, even if they have the answer, they direct them to the place where they can get the answers on their own. Now, some people think that that's rude. If somebody call me and say, okay, George, do you know about whatever? And I say, well, okay, no, go to this website and you will find the answer, or go to the back office if it's a distributor, do this. Guys, if you keep answering all the questions that you know where they are, guess what? You're going to become a person that is only answering questions, and the person is not going to learn on his own or her own. The same apply to prospects, but in a better way. Here, you're showing them that they don't have to have the answers. They have to know just the place where the answers are. And the cool thing is, in the case of Isagenix, if somebody wants to know about the products, well, it's isagenixproduct.com, or your own site if it's a specific product, or Isagenix Health. That's it. About the business, isagenixbusiness.com. Or Isamovie, they want to see videos. That's basically it. That's basically it in Isagenix. Really simple. Now, the pros know that they can probably answer the questions or do amazing presentations, but if they do it, they will have a hard time duplicating their business. That's one of the things I notice in many people that start really fast in the business, and they grow really quick at the beginning, but then they suddenly slow down, and the business doesn't grow anymore. They get stressed out, and then what happened? The business crash. And the reason is because they don't know this secret. In network marketing, it does not matter what works. It only matters what duplicates. This is really powerful, and this is in the book. In network marketing, it does not matter what works. It only matters what duplicates. This is interesting because it's really deep if you start looking at this. This should be a guiding principle for every network marketing professional, Eric Worre. I really believe that, because if you cannot duplicate the simple skills, especially presentations, gosh, there's no way that you can grow your business, or inviting people, or finding people. The business is simple. Now, when you become a super professional and you're doing crazy things, you have done all the basics and you have grown big, you may try to test stuff, but you cannot do it when you are starting. You have to make sure that you can create a strong base, and you can become really successful just by doing the fundamentals. And the fundamentals are these skills. And we can see it in most of the millionaires in Isagenix. They are millionaires and they still are doing the fundamentals. They are not doing something weird, or there are a few that may be trying some different things. But in general, most of them are following the fundamentals. And when you follow the fundamentals, you can become really wealthy. Now, the pros use tools instead of their own wisdom. And now, think about this. The pros use tools instead of their own wisdom. The pros use live events instead of their own presentations. This is really important. Now, there is a section, and we are going to see it later, but this is important. The pros used other distributors to give the facts instead of giving them themselves. This is something that I had problems at one point, and sometimes I had the problem that I feel that I have to do everything because somebody cannot do it as well. But the reality is that if you try to do everything yourself, then people are never going to do it on their own. And actually, the facts are simple, especially today with the tools that we have in Isagenix. Now, the pros do not present themselves as an expert. They just invite people to learn more about the product or opportunity and let the third-party resource provide the information. Now, the third-party resource could be not necessarily an individual, but could be a video, as I said, a website, etc. And we have, again, all the tools in Isogenics. A person wants to know more about the ingredients. Oh, we have your website. You click on the product, and any product that they want to know, and the ingredients are there, and there are even videos. The person wants to know about the pay plan. Now we have a very good pay plan video before, but now we have the new one by Kathy Cooper that just came up last week, and it's really powerful. The person wants to know about if people can be successful, and we had the great videos, Retire Early, Enterprising Woman, et cetera, Start Early. All these videos are amazing. Now, how to become an Isogenics professional? We are talking about networker professional, but what about Isogenics? The skill is very simple. It means using the tools, as I said before. Now, in skill 2, you learn how to invite people to the tools, to preview the tools. And again, it's why I say this is so powerful, that chapter, skill number 2, how to invite, because you are learning how to send people to tools. And the tools in Isogenics, we have iSaMovie, your personal site, webinars, other people presentations, handout magazines, or different tools. I mean, we have CDs, we have all kind of tools. You can become very successful just by directing people to tools and events. There's a guy that I met in November at the Eric Worre event, one of the speakers. His background, he was a mechanic for years. And when he got into network marketing at first, he was not having any success. And the reason is because he didn't have the credibility. People were talking to him, and he was telling them how great the company was, and the products were, and etc. But he was not having any success, and he was ready to quit until he learned from one guy, one of his leaders, one of his top leaders, and one of his mentors. He said to him, "Just direct people where the information is." And he learned that. He started directing people to presentations. He started directing people to tools. He started directing people. He said that he became a director, directing people everywhere. And interesting, because he became a multimillionaire. As a matter of fact, today he earned multiple 7 figures per year, And he's a neighbor with Kobe Bryant in California. He lives in a really expensive area where the houses are multi-million dollars. How that happened? Because he said he became a director. But something interesting happened to him. Eventually, he learned how to present and teach people how to become a director. He became a presenter too, but again, teaching people how to become a director. And when I mean director, again, for those of you that say, what are you talking about, the rank of director? No, I'm talking about directing people to the tools. Very important. Now, let's go to the next part. The pro also learn how to present. Now, this may sound like a contradiction, because you say, okay, hold on a second, we talk about not presenting. Well, let me show you something. The person with the marker makes the money. In other words, the person in front of the room giving the presentation usually has a higher than average income. Now, it is interesting that the reason is because the person is more confident, etc. That doesn't mean that you cannot become a wealthy just directing people to different places, because of the 107 millionaires, I think now. There are many that they don't do many presentations in front of everybody. As a matter of fact, there are a couple that they have never done a presentation in front of several people. And when I mean a couple, more than a couple. But they are really good directing people to other places, doing three-way calls, etc. However, if you want to become a professional, this is so important that you learn how to be a professional. Now, it seems like a contradiction, I say, but it's important eventually you can present to groups. And the reason is because you want to inspire groups. Now, Eric Worre, he said that it starts with your story. And by the way, that's the truth. This is something that you have to learn, everybody, even if you don't do presentations, is how to tell your story. Now, Eric suggests a few steps, 4 steps. First, your background, where you came from. Second, the things you didn't like about your background. For example, you were broke or you were sick, etc. But make sure you talk about also your finances or your business experience or your job, the things that you didn't like. Then how network marketing, or how Isogenics in our case, came to the rescue, and then the results that you have right now and how you feel about your future. In other words, where you are going. Now, this is a very good map. I just love to add one more, and for those of you that have seen my presentation, how to create your own story. That's why you are sharing your story with them. In other words, how they are going to be benefit with what you are sharing with them. But anyway, this is a really good map on how to become a presenter. You start with your story, and that's the only thing that you many times you do. But let's go to a little more in depth. Also, he suggests to see powerful presentation among what those presenters do. I love to see the presentation by Kathy Cooper. She doesn't do too many presentations anymore, but you can find some of them on the internet, and mostly also in some of the ICGN universities. When she takes over the presentation, she's amazing. I have to add that in ICGN, you can speed up the process because we have the home kit that give you the tools to start doing a presentation in front of people right away. And when I mean in front of people, it applies if you are doing it in your living room to only 2 or 3 people, or if you are in front of a big room with 100, 200, and 300 people, because you follow the same steps. You're telling your story, you are showing the videos, you're bringing some people to tell their story, and you close with you plus 2, then plus 2. As simple as that. And that's the same thing that you do in front of 1 person or in front of 1,000 people when you are doing a presentation. It's why this home kit is so amazing, and today has been improved because it even comes with a CD where you can actually create invitations, not only physical invitations, but also on social media, Facebook, when you want to invite people to your home. Now, still remember, you have to learn to tell your story, but you must use the tools. And we have tons of tools that you see. Now, the tools in general, what they make is easier the presentation, and obviously you are going to duplicate much easier. And remember what Eddie Worre said about duplication. Now, let me summarize this chapter. When you are prospecting, you are the messenger, not the message. This is really important. When you understand that, you are just the messenger and you are using the tools to give that message. Get yourself out of the way and use a third-party tool. Sometimes I think it's ego, because I think I have a little ego involved when I started network marketing, and it's why I didn't want to use tools, because I thought I could do something better. But tools are really powerful. And for those of you that go to our home presentations or a launch presentation that we have launched, or live presentations, you will see that we use a lot of videos because we want to make sure that everybody can duplicate that. Now, learn to tell your story in a way that will make your prospects curious to hear more. And when it comes to presenting in front of a group of people, preparation is key. Now, and what I mean is you prepare, you do presentations in front of a mirror to your people, to your friends, to your family, just practicing. And it can become fun. As a matter of fact, I love to be in front of people, and sometimes that's not good because I don't want to get out of there. Now, this is my take. This is very important skill. Yet, when using the tools, you don't have to wait to be a veteran to start doing presentations. And that's something that's really powerful. Now, ISOGENIS is unique because it provides incredible tools to make your business smoother. And for those of you that have been in network marketing or they have seen another network marketing companies, you will notice that there is no any company that has so many tools for so many things, and even to answer questions, etc., like ISOGENIS has. It is the perfect company. And I wish you could put that in your head because it's really powerful. Now, next week we will have a skill number 4, that is the follow-up. And it's important, this to close. Make sure that you are also reading the book, and when you read that chapter, apply it immediately, because that's the way that we learn it. And the best way to learn is to apply, and it's like a good example is if you read a book about swimming, but then you jump in a swimming pool, probably you could drown. Or if you are learning martial arts in a book, when you go to the real thing, maybe you're going to be beat up. It's so important to apply because that's the way that you learn. You will find out that in no time you will become a pro, and it will reflect in your rank and income. And you can do it really quick because these skills are really simple to learn. You just have to apply. And the first 3 that we saw, the first one, making your list or prospecting, and when you do that, then you go to the next one that is inviting people, and then this one presenting. When you do these 3 and the next one next week, that is going to be oh shoot, I got up. Hold on a second. Yeah, the next one that's going to be next week that we're going to be talking about follow-up. I mean, follow-up, when you have those four that you do every day, you just add people to your list every day, you connect with people every day, you present every day, and you follow up. Holy cow. That's when you become successful. And by the way, that sounds familiar. No, that's our system of prospecting. The first famous triangle that I don't have here, you make a list, is the center of the triangle, then one side of the triangle is connecting, and that's basically when you're inviting people. The next one is presenting, and the last one is follow-up. Those are the three things, the fourth thing that you do consistently, and you're going to become really successful. Next week, we are going to skill number 4. Then after that, we have just a few more, 3 more to go. But these first 4 are going to get your business in a big way. Now, and before I close, I just want to remind you, May 17, on Saturday, we have the event in Salt Lake City. The registrations are only online, and you receive an email. And for those of you that didn't receive an email, make sure you send me an email or send a message here. I sent another email with the registrations probably a few minutes ago, and we are registering to Thursday. And the reason we are doing it only online because it includes a lunch, a box lunch, and we want to make sure how many people are going to be there. But anyway, guys, I'm glad to be teaching this part and going through the book because it's helping me also a tremendous way. And anyway, if anybody has a question, I'm ready for questions right now. Alex, are you there?
Yes, George, thank you. That was great. And, as always, I'm amazed always how simple this business is compared to anything else out there. And yeah, there are no questions right now. So if you're new here, just go to the GoToWebinar control panel at the top right of your screen and enter any questions in the chat area, and George will be happy to answer them.
Yeah, a comment, by the way, interesting. As you know, some of you know, Eric Worre has this a strong event. It's a 4 days event that he has on every November. That's called GoPro. Now, he has many guest speakers, amazing, very motivational. But the heart of the event, he goes through the whole book, chapter by chapter. And I tell you, he repeated consistently. He said, that's the way that I build multi-million-dollar organizations in 3 different companies. Or maybe we're 4, I don't remember right now at the top of my head. But the reason is because these are just the fundamentals. And the things that every time I read, they said that this is really simple. It is. It is simple. Now require the belief that you can do it and require the desire that you're going to do it and develop the skills. But they are simple, like you were saying. I mean, this book, it's why, Alex, remember when we got this book, the first time that I got the book, and then you read it, we said, this is the book that everybody has to use. And it's the first book that the company has ever adopted as part of the training, because as you know, in the convention last year, Eric Worre did an amazing presentation in August, and then they promoted the first 90 days, and look what is happening. The 90 days came from the ideas that Eric Worre was showing there, and I think this convention is going to be there too. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway. But again, guys, this is amazing. Make sure if you don't have a copy of the book, make sure you get it. But anyway, sorry, I got excited.
Well, and you have good reason. Let's see. We have a question actually from John, and it's about what's the deadline and price for the Saturday social media event at Salt Lake?
Online, yeah, to register is on Thursday. I think it's 1 o'clock. I don't remember, but it's online. And again, for those of you that are also on Facebook, it is posted on the different Facebook groups that we have. The address, and you can go there. Also, there is an event invitation we send to tons of people, and I'm sure we send us to about, I think, 300 people. I'm gonna check to make sure that I'm sending to more people. And I know some people are saying, "Whoa, but I live in, I don't know, I live in Alaska or in Montreal. What about me?" Well, we are planning. I'm planning to do something also for online. It's just that I'm finding the way how to do it because this is really interactive. But anyway, meanwhile, for those of you that are in Salt Lake or close to Salt Lake, or you want to go to Salt Lake, this is a good time to see it. And again, the deadline is until 1 o'clock on Thursday. 1 o'clock our time, Mountain Time, by the way, Mountain Time.
Excellent. Okay, any other questions? We have many compliments, George, on the comments area, but no questions. So let's see. Let me just double check this screen. No, that's it. So, well, then let's wrap it up. And
well, it seems that we did really good. It's really, really good. But anyway, yeah, because we are just finishing 2 minutes earlier. Next week, by the way, the follow-up is going to be a short webinar, but it's going to be, I'm going to have some good highlights, not only from the book, but experience of other people. But make sure you are on the follow-up and on the follow-up. Yeah, on the next week webinar.
Okay. Excellent. Well, then, George, thank you so much. And I want to thank you, each and every single one of you, for joining us. And so many of you have been here week in and week out. And just a reminder, just have, if you want to let your downline know and your associates know about these webinars, just go to howtogetgoing.com and register for the webinars. So good night, everyone, and see you next week.
Good night. Good night. See you guys.